to say that, let's see, well, we're definitely talking about a marriage here. We're definitely talking about this love, you know, wanting it to improve, being of service, allowing yourself to be intuitive, doing the work, learning how to be of service, and then perhaps this warning card about being a little bit too possessive in this situation. And if you were going to ask who is being a little bit too possessive in this situation, we definitely have a feminine figure here. So it's almost like, you know, it might be this intuitive feminine versus this possessive feminine. So there's like two different personalities going on here, two different things that are going on. So yeah, trusting that the situation will improve. That's what love is, I think, believing that things will get better and kind of getting through some difficult times. That's what I'm getting for this one. Like maybe going through some difficult times, having to learn some things, particularly in love and related to marriage. All right, pile number 1, that was your pick a card reading. Okay, pile number 2, your question is, what is the most important thing for me in this moment? What is the most important thing for me in this moment? I'll tell you what it is for me. It's coffee. I'm gonna take a little coffee break. I hope you guys are chilling and enjoying hanging out in Decentraland and the tarot stream. I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I'm a little bit, you know, like humbled by my relationship to the popularity of the POAP in comparison to the tarot reading, which is why I put a lot of my effort in sharing this stream with you all. So I hope you enjoy also the intuitive messages and the artwork that comes here. I see that we do have some specific tarot questions coming in today. If you want the POAP, you have to direct message at the POAP bot and add the word tarot today, like that. I think that's how it works. And then, yes, you do hashtag join. You can just type it in. You know, all of the technology is a little bit confusing, not gonna lie. So yeah, you can also just type it in. I am reading the chat for the reading queue. So the queue is if we get really out of control with too many people wanting questions. The sound doesn't work anymore in the screen. Wow, it's just it's an endless list of technology challenges, isn't it? We're gonna get through this together, one by one. Okay. So, what is the most important thing for me in this moment? First card is Temperance. Okay, this is about balance. This is about finding a way to peace and harmony. And it's also an angel. It's like when you least expect it, help is going to come in. The angel of temperance can stand between you and what might destroy you in some ways or take you over. So the temperance can kind of come and stand in between you and something else. So if you're going through a really difficult time, this card, this angel of temperance coming out as the first message for this deck is saying, hey, you know, trust in the divine. Trust in the divine. There is intervention on your behalf to bring balance in this situation and to protect you from the very worst of what could possibly happen. The next card we have is Recovery. Recovery. Now these definitely seem to go hand in hand in terms of the message that's coming through here. maybe it's important for you to understand that you're going through a healing process and that there is divine intervention allowing you the time and the space and the ability to recover. And perhaps you need to hear that kind of a message, that it is possible to recover from what it is that you've experienced. Recovery is possible. Number 66 is your angel number message, which is your guardian angel is teaching you the essence of unconditional love. You are encouraged to have faith. The universe will provide for you while you are manifesting your inner desires. And the affirmation is, I am positive. Yes, I am positive. Now, it strikes me as just coincidental that here we are in Decentraland, which is a virtual community environment, and I'm also in a I'm in a real community environment that is like also being built. So in the background, you hear the sounds of like construction workers, because we're actually, physically building, reorganizing co-working space. So there's this mirroring that's occurring between the virtual and the digital worlds, which is really exciting today. I'm bringing that up. What's most important: staying positive, recovery, finding balance. When you're working through different processes, that's what's coming to me. There's big pushes as we move forward, and then there's times where we need to recover and remember to be kind. Here we have the Hierophant, number 5, another very highly spiritual card, sometimes referred to as the Pope of Tarot, represents marriages, contracts, commitments, and the Fool, number 0, the Fool representing new beginnings. So I like that. Remaining positive with new beginnings, allowing yourself time to recover before you enter into any kind of new kind of marriage, commitment, or contract. And then, wow, look, we got the Lovers as the final card. So that's kind of interesting. Considering the first deck that we had was about what does love mean to me, and we had some marriage cards here. Now we're talking almost about maybe there is going to be some kind of new beginning after a period of recovery, coming into balance, remembering to stay positive. And it's important for you to know in this moment that it's possible for these things to occur. Yes, your guardian angel is teaching you the essence of unconditional love, and it is a new beginning for you. So, pile number 2, that was what was the most important thing for you to know in this moment. Okay, we're heading into pile number 3, the third for our warm-up session this morning. If you chose pile number 3, we ran out of PO-ups already? We had like 500. Oh my goodness. What is my worst fear? Okay, next time I will do more than 500. Well, let me see if I can figure out how to fix that. I'll just take a break for a moment and see if I can fix the audio situation. And then we'll get to my worst fear is working in Decentraland and not being able to be heard by anybody. No. Um, yeah, it is pretty loud in here, I'm not gonna lie. There's like, they're like tearing down walls and stuff. Yeah, I'm in a little conference room, but yeah, I mean, I don't know what's worse. Let's see. Yeah, just hold on a second. Well, you could talk for a while while I figure it out, okay? Yeah, yeah, you talk for a little bit while I figure this out. Because I think it's capturing my. Let's see. Wait, hold on. I don't think it's capturing the desktop audio yet. It gets confused. It's like very confused with all the different applications that are open and stuff.
well, me, because I clicked them first, which is Hydrosine. Then we have Asturias on the second, and then Sus de Cantra. I almost said Decentra, but Sus de Cantra we have here on the third. So yeah, I'm trying to check, who joins the server. Also, a couple things is we made the server like to be as bulletproof as possible, meaning like we're trying to make it so that no bots and no scammers come in. So I would like to say that we have a very, very secure server. So the reason why I'm saying this is because some people get into the server and then they don't see anything. So they say, "What the heck is this? Why am I joining the server and there's nothing? Like this is a scam." And then I'm like, "No, it's not a scam. You just have to click on the check mark." Just click on the check mark and then it will open up the entire server. And once again, there also asks for verification, and so we do the verification with the phone to make sure that you're not a scammer or a bot. Because I don't know if you've been to like other servers, but we have this problem where like you get these DMs like saying, "Hey, you want some mana, like follow this link or connect your wallet," or, "Oh yeah, I'm a developer." I think that's the funniest one I've seen is like, "I'm a developer and we will like your wallet private keys," and then you're like, "Oh snap, like I just got scammed." So we're trying to avoid all of that, and thus far it's been working wonderful. Like the server hasn't had any issues with that thus far. We're very like tight with security, and also we're also working with Polygon. So yeah, it's gonna be fun. And yeah, I'm seeing the POAP history. um, I don't think one person got 500 POAPs. Did one person get 500 POAPs? No way. Really? That is crazy. Are you serious? I didn't I didn't know that could happen. Wow. Well, I mean, the artwork for today is also on OpenSea, so if you want to purchase the NFT, Mitra is a well-seasoned, artist who's been in the whole artist space for like a lot of years, and she made like a really cool like 3D art. And so if you really and that's the one that she's also using for the pop. So it's pretty actually cool. Maybe that's the reason why the pop just whoever this person was, if the world is interesting. Yeah, I see here Zeus Decentra graph call. Yeah, it's interesting. It's just I know there's pops like people that really claim pops, and I think some of them they trade them and sell them because they bring them over to the Ethereum mainnet, and I think they sell them. I'm not sure how that works. Yes, that must be what happened to us last night too. The pop was. Oh yeah, another thing, guys, is like Sim Timo is one of our artists that collaborates with us too, and he did a stream session yesterday, and the pop was gone in like 30 seconds. So there were no more pops after 30 seconds. I have no idea, Sus Decentra says, but how do you claim that much pops? I gotta be honest with you. I don't know. I don't know how you can claim 500 pops in like span of 11 hours, because I don't know what just happened there. I have no idea. But we'll work with you guys. Like we know this pop is very high in demand, is what it seems. Um, oh, you think so? Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. That's right, because of the gas, right? Yeah, yeah. Because I know they used to sell. Asturias is right. Maybe because of the gas, they don't do that. Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't know who claimed them, but it's very interesting.
Can you hear me now? Is this better?
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, I hear you.
Well, somehow the AirPods have like completely taken over my entire system. Like everything says AirPods. I'm not using an AirPod mic anymore. It's either on the table, but
Oh,
it
so
still says
that's
AirPods. So all everything's all like mixed up somehow. So.
oh, I get you.
All right, so you hear everything now.
Okay, that's good. I hear you. At least I think it's in Discord. Maybe there's a delay on ECL. So let me see. Just keep on talking so I can hear
Yeah,
you. Or...
DCL has a bit of a delay. Yes. I think they can hear you and me now. Or
Okay, that
whoever's
is.
in, Discord. Yes.
I see the
Yes.
AirPods on the table now.
All right,
Let
cool.
me.
Okay, so I'll go through this last one and then I will do some personal readings. Okay, what is my worst fear? Have we overcome our worst fears or not? I don't know. We have the Queen of Wands coming up as the first card. This is a card that talks about like creative, powerful women. So maybe you're afraid of creative, powerful women. This is also like a pretty psychedelic card. So I'm thinking, this added element to it that's like, oh, what is it like when, everything really kicks in and the world starts to melt around you? And creativity can seem that way, I think, whether or not it's enhanced by any chemical alterations or not. You can definitely have a pretty strong overwhelmed feeling when you're engaged in creative work. Okay. A year from now, what is my worst feeling? Maybe something about the future. Maybe you have a lot of anxiety when you think about the future. I know I played a game once that was like, imagine when you get old, how lonely and sad you will be and how much pain you will be, which is also totally kind of like bullshit, because you can have the best years of your life in the sunset era, so to speak. But yeah, so maybe fears about the future. Then your overall card here, number 30, is not overall, but just your number card. You are an original, innovative thinker, an excellent communicator. You have a great talent for using creativity to convey your ideas, and your optimistic attitude has an uplifting effect on others. I am imaginative. So yeah, that definitely goes along with this Queen of Wands. Like, maybe you are afraid of your own imaginative and creative capabilities and how that might impact your life, how you might have to change because of the things that you imagine about yourself. Now we have the Page of Pentacles. This is like taking action. It's the W. Taking action in the world. Perhaps you are afraid in terms of taking action in the world. Maybe it's other people's creativity and what they bring to you. Maybe you're afraid of people giving you things that they've created. The Two of Swords, this is a blindness, not being able to see, not being able to communicate, not being able to share your story, not understanding your truth. And the final card is the Two of Pentacles. We got two twos, the Two of Pentacles and the Two of Swords. The Two of Pentacles being juggling, having too much to do, being overwhelmed potentially, but it also represents balance. So yeah, what is my worst fear? This final pick a card reading as we get started. Yeah. We've got that's our final reading. Now, okay, so your worst fear, your own imaginative creativity, not knowing what you can create, dealing with the unknown, having to juggle lots of different possibilities, how that might impact your life in the future and the people and what it might bring into your life as well. Dealing with the unknowns. Yes. How does it limit my possibilities in life? How does your fear limit your possibilities in life? Well, yeah, so you don't know. That's what the practice of intuition is trying to help you understand what the possibilities are. So if you have fear of your creative possibilities and what might happen and you don't look at the possibilities, that is how it is limiting you, because you could be in a completely different place a year from now if you wanted to be. Even though you don't even know what you want yet. But that's part of engaging or facing that particular type of fear. So awesome. All right, we are done with the warm-ups. Now, what we did in the warm-up as well is look at the different types of cards. So if you're up in the queue and you're thinking about your reading, one of the things that I said is, do you want to talk to angels, daemons, mermaids? Who do you want to talk to? So what I have here are some selections. The skulls, Dias de los Muertos, actually they're called, we are coming up on that, but it's called Santa Muerte, Dead Saints, I think. Yes, I don't speak Spanish. I apologize. Hydra, you'll have to come in with the actual, more appropriate pronunciation for that. But I definitely feel like that's ancestors. Now the melty phase, kind of like psychedelic ones, those I think are a little bit alien-like. The angels are obviously the angels. Now mermaids come in two different types. I have a couple different mermaid decks. I think that the numbers are angels because they're the angel answer deck. So we've got ancestors, angels. In terms of daemons, we have this deck, the Deviant Moon Tarot, and I also have a deck related to gods and titans, another one for the star seeds. Those are also obviously aliens, and then a few other, but yeah, so that's kind of, pick your mode of communication choice there. Which one do you feel has a resonance for you in terms of the messages that want to come through? Let me put these back in their appropriate decks so we have full decks to work from. And let's see who's up first for personal readings. That reading hit the nail on the head. Graphical. Oh, I'm so glad. I'm glad. Yes, and you can adjust the audio settings in DCL, which is really good. So, yeah. Let's see. We have a cue here, and Hydra, you are first with a reading on your future for this month, since it is also going to be your birthday. And did you have a particular type of card that you wanted to use? Do you have any preferences? Are you still here? Can you view me? I guess I can always just choose a deck. It's your birthday, so I feel like a lot of your ancestors are going to show up to help celebrate with you. So maybe we'll use the ancestor deck. And then, of course, the mermaids are always important. So, are you still? Yeah, I think you're still hearing my audio. Settings. Audio. Yeah, okay. It's a little confusing over here, not gonna lie. So many windows and such. Okay. Cards here. Shuffle them. These cards are huge. They're kind of like plastic. So they're not the easiest to shuffle. Sometimes tarot readers, you'll see them shuffling like this, and they just wait for cards to like pop out of the deck as a way of getting 10. So you need 10 cards to do a reading. Or at least the ones I'm doing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We have an extra one, which is the... Ooh, this is a collective one. This is definitely a collective card. This is the Make-A-Wish card. It is the 9 of Cups. So everyone can take a moment, take a breath, and close your eyes, focus on your heart, and make a wish. The treasure chest in your heart. What do you want to open and find inside there waiting for you? I suppose that's kind of like the collective blowing out the candle birthday moment for everybody. So yeah, special for Hydra for celebrating his birthday this month, but also for all of us showing up here today, a little bonus for the tarot enthusiasts at DecentraFun in Decentraland today. Okay, center of your reading is the 4 of Swords. This is about rest, taking some rest. So maybe your birthday month, you will have some much needed R&R, rest and relaxation, crossed by the moon, which is kind of like cycles and phases of change, can represent the feminine. Here she is. I think this is a beautiful card, kind of like seeing her own reflection. I suppose there is a moment when we have our birthdays when we reflect on how we change year after year, and we even maybe contemplate our own mortality. And, it's a moment to celebrate that we have lived another year. Every day of life is a blessing. So, yeah, maybe this year you'll be feeling particularly grateful for being alive. Here we have the Knight of Pentacles at the top of your spread, taking action, doing things out in the world. Now, the Knight is one of the slowest moving knights of the deck in terms of progress. So on your birthday, you may be feeling this momentous milestone in some ways because you could be moving kind of slowly, but the Knight is sort of like the tortoise and the hare scenario where you acknowledge that, the slow and steady wins the race. So you might be feeling particularly accomplished at that time. And the future is the 5 of Pentacles. So you might have some anxieties about the future here, or really maybe letting go of some of those anxieties. I like that a little bit more. Whenever we see the 5 of Pentacles, it's like, maybe for your birthday this year, you're really going to feel like you're able to join the group, be surrounded by people that you appreciate in a way that is new for you. And the unconscious, we have the Emperor, seeing yourself as someone who, you're being basically really influenced by that Emperor energy, establishing your sense of independence and dominion over your kingdom. In the past, we have the 6 of Wands, which represents victory. So, yeah, I think that's what I was talking about a little bit with this Knight of Pentacles, like reflecting on what it is you have accomplished so far on your birthday. Your the part of you that wants to step into that emperor role and then be part of the community. I think there's a balance here between being independent. It's weird because I'm in this co-working space, and one of the taglines they have for the space that the woman wrote when she was creating this environment was separating people who work independently from people who feel lonely, like discerning the difference. Because when you're in a co-working space, everyone is working independently, but they aren't necessarily lonely, they're kind of like working independently in community. So there's a nice contrast and collaborative nature here to reflecting on how you are both independent but also in community. And when you have a lot of responsibilities, as this Emperor card represents, then you do have to walk the balance between those two realities, where you're independent but also in community at the same time. We've got the 10 of Wands. You're ready to let go of some of the burdens, maybe your past, just moving into another phase. You've got the Two of Pentacles in your environment, still lots to juggle, things to do. You've got the Three of Pentacles in your hopes and fears, growing things. Here's the gardener here paying attention to the smallest the smallest sprout in the garden. Yeah, making sure that you are tending to everything that needs to be tended to. And the overall card is the Five of Swords. The Five of Swords. Now, this is a card of conflict. So you got two fives here, one for the future and one for the overall card, along with this moon card where I was saying like self-reflection. So I do think, and I'm going to choose an oracle card to clarify here from the Gods and Titans deck. The Gods and Titans deck as an overall card. But I do feel like this is an incredible opportunity for you when it comes to your birthday to really let go, this taking a rest, like you're ready to kind of mentally let go of some of the conflicts. You're reaching a kind of mastery in terms of your perspective on two things that have been challenging. One of them being conflict and the other one being isolation, and seeing the beauty in that, and having really reached a point of feeling victorious where you can let go of some of the heavier aspects of these particular things for you because of the work that you've done and your ability to juggle various things in your environment. So I'm seeing this as really positive, but perhaps maybe a birthday that will be more personally significant for you. And I love that we had this bonus overall card for everyone with the Make-A-Wish card. So, it's an opportunity to ask yourself, as you reach this milestone, what do you wish for in the future? And let's pull an oracle card for you as a summary. And we got Prometheus. Does anyone know the story of Prometheus? I will read just ever so briefly, because there are actually pretty long descriptions in here for each one. And I will note significantly on 9/11, which is the day, that this card is on 111, page 111, which is not quite 11, but it's pretty close to 11. Altruism, yes. Make decisions or start projects for the good of all. Seek out a healthy balance between yourself and others. Now, if I wasn't explaining that here between the Emperor and the Five of Pentacles in terms of having a balance between being independent and being in community, Prometheus and altruism is coming in here to remind you of that as well, just to reiterate that. So, the story of this Titan Prometheus is complex and in some ways tragic. Zeus asked Prometheus to create humans, and Prometheus formed humans with sacred clay made of water and earth. Unlike other animals, he fashioned us in God's image. These new beings became beloved to Prometheus, even though we have no fur or warmth or great teeth for protection, and we lead short lives and possess few skills. He helped us to survive. Feeling pity for his magnificent creations, Prometheus decided to help us, although he knew doing so would bring Zeus's wrath down upon him. He tricked Zeus into choosing a lesser type of sacrifice from humans. In relation, Zeus took the vital gift of fire from mankind. Prometheus knew that fire was necessary to human survival and that it would allow us to grow and thrive. Art and skills like metalworking would only blossom with fire. So Prometheus crept into Zeus's own hearth and, lighting a small flame within a stalk of giant fennel, took the fire and escaped. In retribution, Zeus instructed Hepatitis. That's not the right word. You know what? I actually really suck at reading. I just kind of make up the words as I go along. In fact, if you actually saw the text I was reading, you would be like, you're like me. 75% accurate to the story. So if you know the story, feel free to jump in. Okay, Asterisk, if you're listening, it's 75% accurate. Yes, okay, so if you know the story, Zeus, fire, Prometheus, altruism, yes, this idea of doing things for other people, being nice for other people, and maybe having to, shoulder some of the consequences of what it means when you do that for the ones that you love. So, yeah, I think that's really interesting that you contemplate that time. Yes, it says here, in modern times, we still honor Prometheus's gift of fire during the torch relay at the Olympic Games. We watch as the flame is lit and it's passed through many hands in many countries, uniting all in respect and equality. So, what else does the torch, the Olympic torch, remind us of? Again, this overall card, the Nine of Cups, and this idea of blowing out the candle and making a wish as well. So, yeah, interesting. Lighting the candle, blowing out the candle, the gift of fire. So, yeah, maybe what you could wish for, if you were, wondering, like, what can you wish for? Is that kind of like divine gift, something like fire that allows mankind to like progress to another level of being. So yeah, I'm curious where we're at, collectively. That's like your celebration, but also the collective celebration for all beings. Like, what's next for us all? What's coming? Like, what other gifts from the gods will take us into the next state of being? Fire 2.0, 3.0. Cool. Awesome. Alright, that's what I got for you. That's what I got for the birthday reading. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday. I would sing, but I'm not very good at singing, so. Okay. Next on this list. I think, let's see here. Next. There we go. The Q-bot is thinking. Oh, we did Hydra. Next. Q-bot is thinking. There we go. General reading? Specific reading? I can give you a general reading. Let's see what's going on over here. It's easier. AST. Okay. Thank you. Perfect. What kind of cards do you want? How do you feel about the Deviant Moon Tarot cards? Kind of like borderless cards. Or the other one that's really popular is the just some kind of council. Yeah, I like that idea. We could do so I'll do a regular just council. We'll use the mansion cards. yes, we will definitely do the angel ones. I was also feeling the starseed ones as well. I like that. Okay. So we'll do a cancel. So I got 2 cards there. And then we'll pick I have 2 different angel ones, so we'll do both. We'll get the numbers. The first one you got is 18. And these are the angel wings. You got unlikely. And these are the star seeds, which I was feeling the star seeds. Now I have to read these ones because, well, there's actually just keywords. We can do it like intuitively, which is good. In this one you got Earth School. Life lesson, soul growth, study, higher learning, Earth School. You are in Earth School. Unlikely. And 18 says you are both open-minded and open-hearted, and your ambition is to leave this world better than you found it. Ensure that your goals are aligned with the collective need and with the highest good of all. So yes, unlikely. What is this unlikely about? We have 2 tarot cards that can clarify that. We have the King of Wands and the 8 of Swords. King of Wands and the 8 of Swords. I see some similarities in their outfits with just like the red and this like kind of like. So what's unlikely? The clarifying cards. This one here shows a girl who is kind of seemingly trapped, but she's not really trapped. She's kind of like blinded. If she really wanted to get out of this situation, she could. So you might be feeling limitations that are sort of like self-imposed limitations. Another image that would be similar to the 8 of Swords would be the image of like an elephant chained to the ground by a tiny little chain. And it's like, oh my gosh, the elephant is so much stronger than that chain. But if you've grown up since childhood, you may not realize that you've like outgrown that which seems to restrict you is no longer actually powerful enough to restrict you. So in this case, with the wind blowing over her eyes, it's like she's unaware of her freedom. So she feels like she's trapped, but she actually isn't anymore. So it's unlikely, I think, in this case that you are limited from achieving the things that you want to achieve. And you have this King of Wands energy, which is like really powerful creative energy. So it's like you are a very powerful manifestor, very powerful creative person, and you might not really be in touch with your mastery yet or be aware of your capabilities. And so this Earth School is like learning that. Life lessons, soul growth, study, and higher learning. So sometimes when we face particular challenges, like for example, in this case, you're just kind of like waiting, but really you're waiting on you to realize how much you have grown and how much power you have to really embrace your power, to test it out, to push against some of the constraints that you perceive in your environment. And then here, this number 18, I am kind-hearted. Like there's an element, I think, to what it is that you're learning that is a realization of your kindness and your mission here to help other people and to do things that are for the highest good of all. So, yeah. Is definitely the message that's coming through. It seems pretty straightforward. Maybe, if you've been sort of, like cruelly or unjustly limited by other people in your environment, you may question your own goodness or your own power. When we've seen power misused or abused by others, we can sometimes resist our own power for fear that we will be equally unkind to others, which is, some people just choose, they want to go from being persecuted to persecuting other people. They only see that option. Either I'm hurt or I hurt others. And some of us, cannot hurt other people, and so are afraid of embracing power for the fear that we might hurt others. And this one is a message, I think, about the fact you are kind-hearted, and so you can embrace your power, and it's unlikely that you will hurt others in the same way that potentially you've been mistreated or restricted or limited by people of power that you've witnessed. So yeah, let's see, I can get a God and Titan overall message to kind of finalize that, unless you have any other questions that are specific that you want me to ask, let me know. Otherwise, I'll just get one final message here. Oh, that's weird. We got Prometheus again. I know. I feel like that's just kind of strange. I mean, that altruism is definitely a theme that's present here, so maybe it is totally relevant, and I shouldn't pick another card. Maybe I'll pick, I have this other one that's new that I got that I like, called the Wilderness Collide Oracle. Maybe we can get the same message from a different deck. We'll see. Okay, we'll get an overall card for you here. Okay, there we go. We got two. Alignment, getting the stars to align, and full circle, coming full circle. So, yeah, there you go. Coming full circle, alignment and full circle. So, in Earth School, and as we learn these elements of being kind-hearted and stuff, there are definitely like moments when things come full circle, and what we've experienced, suddenly it makes sense. Things come into alignment. The picture is complete. What we've experienced is like, oh, that's amazing. What you reap, you will sow, kind of thing. So, yeah, that's the reading I've got for you. Yeah. You are on a journey of self-discovery. That's amazing. Yeah, I know. It's weird because, like, with the unlikely, I think one of the things that people use as a tactic to kind of, like, limit your ability is to, tell stories about all the possible things that could go wrong. Like, oh, you shouldn't do that because such and such might happen, or this might happen, or, it's like we create these circles of fears that we don't want to take action or do anything because something negative could happen. So we're like using our creative capacity in a way that just limits us because we're so conditioned to imagine the worst case scenario that we choose to do nothing instead. And I think this unlikely card is that, like, a lot of those worst case scenarios are really unlikely. It's unlikely that we'll have a zombie apocalypse. It's unlikely that, you will live to see, the full repercussions of climate change. Like, a lot of things are potential, and a lot of things are happening in the world that are really bad, but the likeliness of them happening to you is kind of small. So that you shouldn't let those possibilities limit you in your creative capacity. So yes, I am kind-hearted, as we are all. Most people are kind-hearted. Yeah, not all, but most. Yeah, certain things are very unlikely. That's what I like numbers for in statistics, because it is kind of helpful, because sometimes the brain puts things out of proportion. And it's unlikely that you'll get bitten by a shark while swimming in the ocean in most places. It's pretty unlikely. It doesn't happen to very many people. It's unlikely that your plane will crash, but they're terrifying to think about, but very unlikely. question is on your mind today? We can pull a question from the question deck if you want. The empowering question deck to get started. Or we can do a general reading. What are you thinking? What is your intuition telling you today? Coming and checking out the tarot stream. Thank you for visiting. Secret Light, welcome. Love those wings. Awesome. We've got Know It here as well, hanging out with us. Saint Nick. You're welcome. Very welcome. If you're still hanging out with us, I've got about 45 more minutes, 40 more minutes of tarot reading. If you want a private reading, you can come join us in Decentraland. In the queue. You can write in Decentraland if you want to, but I also have a queue going on for a list that is in Discord, which is a little bit easier for me to keep track of the queue when it's in Discord. And let's see. So Tenzin is up next after Zeus. And I've got a variety of different cards to choose from. Oh, this is your first time joining a live tarot reading? That's awesome. Well, welcome. I usually start with like a pick a card. Yes. Oh, well, I've been reading cards for like 20 years. So I'm good at both ends of the spectrum, introducing the very, very basics and also completely going off the rails and doing whatever I want. I usually go off the rails and do whatever I want, but it does come from a significant amount of knowledge and experience, and not just... So going off the rails is not really going off the rails. I mean, you can build the tracks, so to speak. Okay, so one card was flipped around in the deck the wrong way, and the question I got was, where am I going and why? Where am I going and why? So I'm going to click on this reading. Click on this card. I'm going to click on this card. Oh, I don't really have to click on it. I'm going to choose this one for now, and we're going to do a reading for Zeus. Where am I going and why? I am recording these, by the way, and afterward I will post the video in the Discord chat so you can listen to it later if you want to. How do I feel about geode crystals? Thank you. I love geodes. They're magical and wonderful, especially because, you like crack them open like eggs, and then it's like the mystery of what's beautiful inside. I keep stones in my wand when I'm doing readings, and I find that it helps me to sort of like relax. Some people's energy and the questions that they bring in is pretty intense, so then I like the wand to just look at pretty lights. And it just kind of helps sort of like mentally to clear the energy of what can be sometimes overwhelming, because it's just like pretty and they reflect in so many different ways. So these are all little tiny ones, all strung together. So yeah, I do have quite a collection. I've been traveling. I'm working in like a co-working space, so this is like my mini version. I have about 25 different decks with me to pull from, and I keep buying them, but I have like a couple hundred at home. So yeah, you're seeing my mini version of stuff. If I were in my own space, it would have like a candle and a little singing bowl, and the whole experience would be slightly different. But yeah, I'll give you a preview. I'm in a co-working space, so yes, I'm not so dressed up. There are some of the cards, and then we have, TV and all that stuff. So just kind of like making the best of the situation. Where am I going and why? I feel that way a little bit this morning. Why am I here? Where am I going? What am I doing? Camera. Don't tell anybody. I tried to use a giant screen, but then, yeah, it's my first time being here. I just got here yesterday. Okay, so where am I going and why? I'm gonna pull a starseed oracle. You resonate with being a starseed. Oh, damn. Look, we got portal. Doors are opening. You decide. Rewards. Wild card. Oh my god. Zeus. Or I think this reading might actually be for Know It as opposed to Zeus or Secret Light combined readings, because Zeus isn't actually responding and we're the ones talking right now. So yeah. There's a freaking portal that showed up. Where am I going and why? Doors are opening. You decide. Rewards. Wild card. Oh my god. Okay, so. Well, this is why we practice intuition. You know, we ask the question, where are we going and why? And there's a portal opening up, and we get to decide what we want. Ultimately. Rewards. It's like a reward. You get to choose. So now that you can imagine, like genies with wishes, holy moly, like what kind of wish do you make? Do we only get one portal, multiple portals? Do we want lots of options, or do we know exactly what we want? Where are we going and why? Okay, let's pull another card and see what we get. Here we have Revelation's Call. Revelation's Call. So there's a revelation as to where we are going and why we are going there. Shall I read the guide? I'm going to read the guidebooks, because they write a lot more in the guidebooks. Although I like looking at the pretty pictures. And it's weird, because I was just, we were talking about geodes, and then I was like showing off the wand, and there's some kind of similarities between all the different gemstones in the wand. They all have this kind of like I would call them like rainbow swirl kind of color elements to it. And I think sometimes there is a disconnect between the intellectual mind that looks at words and wants to logically understand things, and then also the other sensory perceptions, such as visual and sensual experiences, like just the kind of pleasure that comes from seeing something that's shiny and pretty, like a stone or the surface of water, or the cards themselves, which is part of the reasons why I love using cards and so many different cards, is because we get the visual experience, which is different from the intellectual experience of it. So maybe where am I going and why? It's like this portal into another dimension is like leaving a certain kind of logic behind, and there's a revelation or a call to experience the world in a slightly different way. So let's see. She does have like like a guidebook, but I don't know what I did with it. So I do have the guidebook for this one. This one is like something I got on Etsy, and I think the guidebook is like a completely separate thing. It doesn't fit in the box, and so I might have gotten lost. The Starseed is more commercially produced, so it fits in the box and everything. Actually, the box for this one is really cool. It has like a pyramid-shaped top to it, which is unique, and so it like slides in like that. The Starseeds oracles, yeah, that one's cool. Okay, let's see what this one says regarding Portal, the wild card. Let's see. Number 96. 96. So the question related to this one is, what would you most like to experience? Where am I going and why? And then the follow-up question, what would you most like to experience? When this card comes up in a spread, it is a sure sign that effortless change is possible. If you've been looking for a sign, this is your portal into a new reality. Now is the time to make big changes. If you've been guided to switch things up, you're extremely well supported right now. Use this energy and jump right in. Awesome. What would you most like to experience? You know, for most of my life, whenever I've been asked that question, I always think like, okay, world, universe, why don't you provide me something better than I could ever imagine? How about that as an answer? I would like to experience something better than I can ever imagine. And maybe that's what the revelation is about, because it's kind of like experiencing something. And I would say that I have had like a couple moments in my life where I've experienced a kind of bliss that's like transcendent, beyond anything else. So I would say, at least for me, I don't know where you're at with your reading, but the where am I going and why is definitely, you know, what I'm picking up from this reading is like a kind of feeling state that is, you know, closely related to, or most best described by, you know, ecstasy, even beyond ecstasy. Now, I've actually tried ecstasy, so I'm not gonna pretend, but I would say that the feeling I'm talking about transcends that. It is better than any kind of like chemical alteration or feeling that you can experience as well. So I would just say that. Yeah. And why? Why would you want that? Oh my, why would you not want that? Why would you want that? Where am I going and why? I'm going to a place that's like transcendent and ecstatic. The why. I'm gonna pull some more cards for the why. I mean, why not? I mean, who would choose anything other than that? But we'll pull some cards and see what comes up. Let's see here. Okay. And since we're talking about revelations and ecstatic feelings and things beyond our control, I'm gonna pull from the Melty Tarot. Ooh, we got the Four of Wands, the Four of Pentacles, sorry. The Hanged Man and the Emperor. There we go. Aha. The camera is back. The microphone is back. I am in a realm where there are people. I feel like that was a very dramatic experience of essentially trying to answer my question, which was maybe like kind of intense in terms of an answer. Like, why would we seek out these particular types of experiences? Where are we going and why? I don't know if you've ever had, what your experience is with life and death, like the birth, being present at the birth of a child, or being present when somebody crosses the veil and they die. Those are two of the most intense experiences. Well, even the birth of a child is like, well, both of them are kind of like transitions, but there's a moment, there's a moment in these scenarios where something happens. There's like a transition. So when I was asking this question, and I was getting, these answers, it's like, first of all, I was confused by it, but I think there's this idea of like holding on to something. Sometimes we can hold on to things, but there is a moment where there is a portal or a transition that occurs, and it is kind of like that clear, that profound, like suddenly the power is just like off. There's like a switch moment that occurs, and that might be kind of between the spiritual realm and the physical realm, that there's kind of like that moment. I think I feel it a little bit like when I put on a VR headset or something, and it's like we're starting to go from the physical realm, where we're using our senses, the ones that we were born with, to perceive reality. And then there's a spiritual realm, quote unquote spiritual, whatever you want to call it, like the energetic realm, that's not quite the same. And now we can put on our VR and kind of like go into that world and be completely immersed in it. But we also do it when we dream or go into meditative states or anything else like that. So in that space, there is, a potential for feeling something. A revelation is possible in that space, and it is sensory. And why are we going there? I mean, it's gonna sound super dramatic, but I felt like that little that little energy hiccup, if you want to call it that, was just a reminder of like, it sounds dramatic, but it's sort of like a life or death thing. It's like, oh, we're going there so we can live. We're doing it so we can live. That's what life wants to do. That's what life is. So that's the answer, as dramatic as it may seem. Wow. Cool reading. Awesome. Slightly dramatic. Drama is fun. I'm not anti-drama. Cool. Very cool. Alright. We have one more personal reading for today to wrap up the stream. And that is for Tenzin. If you're still here. If not, I will choose a card from the question answer, and you can also listen to it later. Because I will put the recording in the Discuss tab for the tarot section for you to watch later. And I also put little timestamps in there so you can jump ahead to your particular reading. Okay. So yeah. Wow, that was an interesting moment. I liked that reading. Deep breath. Okay. On to the last one. And we're going to choose a question for Tenzin. Okay. What reading will we get here? The last reading from today's tarot. We got, I am doing more of the things that keep me alive. Am I doing more of the things that keep me alive, or more of the things that make me feel alive? And then the secondary question is, what makes me feel alive? Holy moly, like how much more specific can we get in terms of kind of stringing these questions together for a collective reading on this stream? I find this one to be significant also today, because whenever we experience things that are shocking and create fear and are terrible, and like in relation to war and violence, we can definitely tend to start to focus on doing things that keep us alive, as opposed to things that make us feel alive. And what is it that makes us feel alive? And in that last reading, we were talking about, a feeling state that is the reason why we are doing so. Where are we going and why are we doing it? We're going somewhere in order to feel alive, to feel the most pleasure that we can in our physical bodies as we are alive, which is maybe kind of like the purpose or something like that. So then this is like, okay, the things that make me feel alive. Okay, so again, intuition, possibility. We're just gonna look at some cards and ask the question, what makes me feel alive, and see what we get here. I'm gonna pull out the iris cards. I got these ones on Etsy, and I freaking love the image on the back of the deck. One of my artist friends said to me, that there can be like in a song, there can be like one line that makes the song, and in a deck, there can be one image that makes the whole deck. And for me, oh, funny, look, it's the same image that I pulled. This This one, I just love this image. And like I bought the whole, I couldn't not buy the deck because of this one image. Okay, let's read what this one says. Rainbow transference, because this was my purpose for purchasing the deck. So, and it was the one on the bottom that came out. I'll pull a couple more, but what makes you feel alive? So sometimes it's that one thing, the synchronicity of that one thing, experiences that one thing that seems to just be attracted and to gravitate toward you. So let me see here. What is the extended reading for number 21? Rainbow transference. 21. You have found the magic connection. You have found the reason that you are not a solitary being on this earth, and that is to share your magic with others. You have found your inner power to make beauty in all forms on this plane of existence. You have the gift of being able to share it with others and also to receive this from others as well. Since the time we incarnate, it is within us, our magic, our knowledge, our rainbows. Being able to communicate or show this otherworldly treasure is not as easy as just feeling it or knowing that it is there. You have the power to fully bless others by showing your rainbow light on them. By showering your rainbow light on them. Let them feel the balance of the full spectrum of this lifetime. Each and every color has a purpose, place, and time, and each color is being connected. Rainbow transference. Awesome. Yes. What makes me feel alive? Rainbow transference. Well, that obviously qualifies. Let's pull a couple more cards and see what else we get from this beautiful deck. Bubby Fairy. Number 34. I'm gonna have to read these. I have no idea what that means, but it seems cool. Alright, what makes me feel alive? The pink Bubby Fairy. Good things. Alright, yeah, obviously. Good things make me feel alive. Sweet. I'll get a couple more. Love grows love. Last one is your light. Look, there's that Make-A-Wish candle card coming out again. Your light. Okay, let's look into these just a little bit more. And on the bottom of the deck we have, a fearful world. Just reminding of us. Sometimes fear can make you feel alive, absolutely. Like that jolt of adrenaline that pumps through your body and makes you feel like you're alive. That is a completely valid card. Okay, so I'll go through the order in the order that they came in. So the first one is 34. Some fairies grant wishes, and the pink bubble fairy, I saw it as an I. It's definitely a bubble fairy. Obviously it's a bubble fairy. Oh my god. Pink Bubble Fairy wants to help you bring all your dreams to life. Inspired by the Pink Bubble Manifestation Meditation, this fairy helps carry your wishes in soft pink bubbles to the place in which they can be heard and fulfilled. Hard work is important to accomplishing your desires, but also you have such power within your dreams. The details of how your goals manifest might be somewhat unpredictable, but that is part of releasing your dreams into the hands of the pink bubble fairy. You know your intentions, focus on them deeply, and have trust that the gentle pink light is hearing them. That the gentle pink light, they are being heard. That in the gentle pink light, they are your intentions, focus on them deeply, and have trust that in the gentle pink light they are being heard. What makes me feel alive? I suppose if you were to put that into a wish for the pink bubble fairy, your affirmation would be that my intention is to feel alive. My intention is to feel alive. My intention is to feel alive. Okay, number 40. Oh, we got good things next. Number 11. Ooh, look, we are 11. Special number for today is 11. 11. Good things, abundance, wonderful things are coming your way. Things are full of the colors around you. Things are full. Things are full, and the colors around you might start to get just a bit brighter. Bask in this delicious time of sweetness. I am so happy for you. Bask in this delicious time of sweetness. I am so happy for you. Awesome. Number 40 is love grows love. Love is contagious when you give love openly just because you are feeling it inside, not because you seek love in return. You'll spread your mushy gushy rosy love onto everyone. See the magic in changing someone's day, even someone's life. Yes. Spread your mushy gushy rosy love onto everyone as part of the magic. What makes me feel alive? Yes, so sharing your love enlivens you. And your light. Number 51, the last one that we have in the reading for today. Little light or wildfire. Your light is your way to navigate the world around you. We each bring a new perspective into this life. Your light illuminates in a particular way that is unique to you. Remember, it is there for you in the gloomiest nights. Your flame can at least help you find the next door, the next step, or thaw your hands touched by the coldness of frigid winter air. Your light. What makes me feel alive? Yes, so this one is just, making sure that you embrace your unique perspective and that you allow it to kind of help you one step at a time. Just one step at a time. Yeah. Being the light in the darkness, the pink bubble fairy, good things, love growing love, rainbow transcendence, and also, yes, what happens when we're in a fearful world? What can make us feel alive? I suppose, it's interesting, like, if you've ever studied, like relationship psychology and stuff like that. They're like, well, what relationships last the longest, or what is one of the things that help in relationships? And this is like kind of like interesting because we have 6 positive things to 1 negative thing, and that is kind of the ratio. And proportionally, this 1 negative thing, which happens to be number 69, interestingly enough, and we have number 11, but like, so if you know anything about numerology, that's relevant. If not, I'm not going to go into it right now, but basically this is kind of giving you a sense of what it takes proportionally to outweigh just like the drop of fear that can enter in, and how big that becomes. And it can be super motivating, but when we're talking about balancing things out on the scale, it's like 6 to 1 in this particular ratio, 6 to 1. So yeah, it takes 6 times as much effort to outweigh that one thing. So yeah, go ahead and double down on that which makes you feel alive and good. Love, good things, your light, the pink bubble fairy, and rainbow transference. Awesome. We're coming to the end of my stream. I don't know if there's any other questions or things like that. Um, let's see. Oh, it's almost time for sleep. Good night. Let's see. We ran out of the POAP, but I can order more of them, and I'll try and do that, and we'll see. So that everyone who attended the event that would like to get a POAP can hang out. We're doing it through the Discord bot, and this is all kind of new, and every week there's like more construction and expanding and the technology and everything like that. So we're just kind of like learning, but we did distribute, I believe, 500 POAPs. I'm not sure. I heard a rumor that someone collected a whole bunch on their own. So we have like a POAP, what would we call that? Like someone who's coveting them. A hoarder. Yes. But I think we can make as many as we want. It's like when I first started playing some video games, and there's like sometimes there's a treasure chest, and you're in like a player versus player environment, and only one person gets the treasure. So there's like you're like fighting each other, and who gets the treasure, because there's only like one reward for it. But with the POAP, I'm pretty sure that like anyone that wants one can get one. It's like a different kind of treasure bot where we can just add more, like in infinity. So if you're patient and persistent, you can get the POAP, because I can just add more codes to it. But it's kind of like a secret, because you have to like be patient. You have to, yeah. But there's more. There's definitely more. There can be more. I can make more. It's within my power to make more. So. The bot raid. Oh my gosh. Seriously. Like, where are those things going? Somewhere in the metaverse, there's like a secret place where there's just like a whole bunch of poems waiting. Like, just the bots. I mean, the bots apparently like my POAP. I'm kind of flattered. Definitely. Okay, so I'm putting these back together. So we have the Isis Oracle deck, which I love, which is not this one. It's this one. And then this is the Wilderness Collide Oracle. And the Angel Answers. This is the Mermaid type tarot, which is this box here. And then we have the Oliver Hebert. This is the one that's like melty. I love this one. This is like a ridiculously expensive deck for what you get in the physical form, but you're definitely supporting the artist when you buy it. And I just had to have it, so I was like, whatever the price, I will pay it. But these ones that are like commercially produced these are all privately. They're privately done, but there's some here that you can get on like Amazon if you like collecting cards. All right. Yeah, it's only one per address, so maybe like there's a bot that makes multiple addresses, so they just have a whole bunch of accounts with multiple addresses. And yeah, that's the interesting thing with bots, is that you can kind of do whatever you want in multiples and everything like that. So thank you all for coming and hanging out with me today. I hope you enjoyed the stream. I'll be back next Saturday. I have 2 more tarot slots for the month of September, and hopefully I'll be able to continue into October and beyond. So yeah, if you like the stream and want to support DecentraFun and all of our technology you buy a mermaid type NFT, I will also send you 2 cards and like a signed print in the mail. If you wish to share your physical address, you can always opt out of that as well. So yeah, thank you so much for joining. I hope that all the messages that came through were well received. There will be a recording, and remember, at the end of any session, just take a moment as you transition back into normal life, normal reality, out of the dreamland of tarot. See you next time.